I'm Anil Kumar and I have given you graph of two functions on this particular graph. One of them is derivative of the other. The question here is graph of the function and its derivative is shown below. Explain how you can find the graph of the derivative. So that is the question for you. You can pause video, answer and then look into my suggestion. Well, I have purposely given this graph as it does relate to some of my videos. Now that is kind of an accurate graph to look into. When I was discussing how to sketch graph of a derivative, we kind of messed it up. But I hope this explains you how exactly the graph should look like. Now, the question here is to figure out which one of these is the graph of the function and which one of these is the graph of the derivative, right? So how do you find that? Best way is to look for the turning points. So what we should do is we look for turning points. So if the turning point is there on a function, then what do we expect? We expect 0 for the derivative. So that is what the test is. So let me analyze, and this is one of the turning points. So at this turning point I am expecting 0, but on the function, well, we do not have 0. So that means this is not the function, right? Perfect. Now let's analyze the solid line. If I'm looking at this point, the horizontal line represents the turning point's 0 derivative, or the tangent is horizontal, slope is 0. So what we find is that we do have a 0 on the other graph. That means the other graph is the derivative. Well, let us test with the other turning point. Here we do have a corresponding 0. So that clearly indicates that this is the derivative of this function. Do you see that? So that is how we can easily figure out which of these is the derivative of the other, right? So I'd like you to go through it once again, and as an exercise, think about the derivative and try to sketch derivative of this function. So the question for you is sketch second derivative of this, right? So derivative of this function will become second derivative. So let that be your test question, right? Obviously, you should start from the turning points, get some zeros, then look for concavity, right? So this is concave down, concave up. Point of inflection gives you the maximum or a minimum, right? That should help you to find the derivative's derivative graph. I hope you find it interesting. Thank you and all the best.